Welcome to the new birth of me. I'm Michele Decaul, and I'm excited to be here with another episode for you here at the new birth of me. This is where God helps to unpack those challenges in our life, begins to reveal those stretching seasons and those uncomfortable moments so that He can birth something powerful within us. Today, we're talking about prepared and not stuck. There are seasons in your life that you will be hidden. There are seasons in your life that will be uncomfortable, that it feels like, you know what, things are happening, but I'm still not quite sure. Like I can't put my finger on it. It's almost like it's clear as mud. You ever been through that before? Like, you know, something is on the horizon, or you're in the middle of something, or the season is about to change. And the season you're in right now is literally stretching you. And so now we're having to define, what does that look like? How am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to move? What am I supposed to be doing? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? And so if you're feeling like this, sometimes you may feel like you're stuck, or you feel like you're delayed, or you feel like you're stagnant. But can I tell you, I don't want you to misread that. It can actually be your season of preparation. God is preparing you. Again, like a pregnant mom, right? If she's preparing for birth, she's pregnant, maybe in her 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, things are changing within her body. Right? And when things are changing within her body, every month is bringing something new. We know she's going to deliver a baby, but there's things that's happening that we quite don't know, especially if this is a new mom that hasn't had a child before. We don't know what to expect, but we know something is on the horizon. God does the same thing for us in our lives. And so today, I want to share like 10 points with you to help you to define when you are being prepared, when you are actually, it feels like you're hidden and you feel like you're stuck. But again, it's not that you're stuck, you're actually being prepared. It's a season of transition. It's a season where you feel uncomfortable. It feels like nobody's talking. It feels quiet. Sometimes it feels very confusing, right? God doesn't, show visibly what you're doing, but you just know something is happening. But in this waiting, He's actually shaping you. What feels like stillness is actually strengthening. And so I want to talk about that here. So here are a couple signs. Let's go through them one by one today. All right, we're going through it one by one. This is your season of transition and your season of faith. So number one, in this moment where you're being prepared, number one, you feel stretched. It's a feeling that you're feeling stretched, like that pregnant mom, her belly is being stretched to accommodate what's about to take place. Your life is being stretched to accommodate what is about to take place. So you're really not stagnant, you're actually being stretched, right? You're being challenged mentally, you're being challenged spiritually, you're being challenged emotionally. There are some things that you're encountering, some experiences, you're feeling like it's stretching you and it's feeling uncomfortable. That's where the uncomfortability comes in, and it's forcing you to do things that you normally would not do. It's taking you out of your normal routine. When you're outside of your normal routine or doing something that you're comfortable in doing, right? It's actually stretching you. It's increasing your capacity. How many of you know that when a pregnant mom is actually giving birth, her belly, right? Her belly is stretching, right? There's a capacity. She has to increase the capacity to hold that 6-7 pound baby, right? And the same thing holds true for us. Our capacity is stretching. When you're being stretched mentally, when you're being stretched emotionally, when you're being stretched spiritually, there's more. There's a teaching. God's taking you outside of your routine, taking you on a different journey, causing you to think different, causing you to go from a different perspective, causing you to feel different. Sometimes you got to go through a different challenge or, a hard season because He's wanting you to feel something that you've never felt before. He's wanting to invite you into a new idea. He wants to invite you into new solutions, because when you go another path, it stretches your capacity. It's really engaging you in a different way. And so when you're in this moment of being stretched and not stagnant, right, you're growing. There's growth taking place, but it's done in an unusual way, in an uncomfortable way, outside of what you're accustomed to. And so even in the uncomfortability, can I tell you, you're being rewarded. You're being rewarding in this stretching moment, in this stretching season. So you're not actually stuck, but you're actually stretching because of the different things you're experiencing mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So that was point number one. When God is preparing you, he's going to stretch you. Right? Point number two, when God's preparing you, he's going to close old doors without explanation. He's going to close old doors without explanation. Why? Because it doesn't fit you any longer. You know how to do that with your eyes closed, hopping on one foot, right? You already got the routine. You can do it very easily. When he closes those old doors, it's time for you to fit into something new. Right? You no longer need to be in that space any longer. And he'll do that without explanation. Why? Because you become familiar. It's too familiar. You're now doing it in your own strength. So it's time to move into something new. It's time to do something new. He's making room for something that you've not done before. He's making room, right? Something on your job. If you've been in that routine or that job, that career for a long period of time, it's easy for you to get familiar in that position. And you might find it strange. Why is my boss asking me to do something that I don't normally do in my normal routine of work responsibility? Well, those questions, or having you sit in on meetings, it's getting you ready. It's preparing you. It's taking you outside of what is normally familiar. And so getting out of familiarity helps you to grow. It's preparing to close that old door to open up a new door. Could you be in training, right, for a new opportunity? Because sometimes you will be in an experience, maybe be on the job, be in a relationship, right? Especially when it comes to when you're in maybe if you have a supervisor, a subordinate, maybe a teacher, because of how you've been functioning in the old area, they see so much potential, they'll start positioning you accordingly, asking you questions, asking you to be a part of things. Why? Because there's a season change coming. They see the potential. You may not see it, but they see it. And so now God begins to position you accordingly and the people around you to open up that next door. The new door is about to open, and now he's closing the old. And because you can't quite see it, you may feel like you're stuck because it feels familiar, but you're not actually stuck. He's moving and closing those old doors to move you into a place that is actually new. Point number three, we're talking about prepared and not stuck. Point number three, this is where you're gaining clarity in the midst of confusion. Have you ever been so confused, but there is a bit of clarity that's coming, but you can't quite see it? You can sense it, but it's not quite fully there. You say you may not have the full picture, but you're becoming more aware of what has not yet taken place. You're becoming more aware of what's not yet taking place. You've got the clues. You can see it, right? But it's still not quite adding up and you feel confused. Can I tell you, in confusion, there will be like moments of clarity. It's adding up. 1 + 1 is not quite 2, but you can see it. And you can actually sense it. And so even when things seem unclear, look for the pieces that are clear. Put the clear pieces together. It's like a puzzle piece, right? Put the puzzle pieces together and you'll start to see. It's going to require your faith to do it though, right? So God is actually preparing you and getting that season or that moment or that experience where you're confused. It's like I said earlier, it's actually clear as mud, but there's some clarity there. Because there's little pieces amongst the confusion that when you put it together like a puzzle piece, you're like, this makes sense. Know that you're being prepared for something greater. You're not actually stuck. You're actually being prepared. Point number 4, when God's preparing you, he's also working on your character. Can I tell you, your character is important for that next season. Your character is important for that next opportunity. Your character is important for that next business deal, for that next opportunity for you to sit in the next board meeting, right? Somebody wants to invite you into something that's beyond where you are. And so when you understand that in that next move, your character has to be refined. You can't do the same thing that you did on the previous level. God is actually working on your patience. He's working on your humility, your discipline, your trust. All of that is being developed. That preparation often happens internally before you start moving into external promotions. Because here's the thing, your character is what holds you in that position. Your character is what's going to open the door. Yes, you may have the skill and the ability, but when you're looking for sustainability, you have to have good character. And God will work on your character. He will refine your character. Because when you move into that next level, right? When you're moving into, let me say it like this, into a position that was valued at 50,000, but now you're moving into a position that's valued at 1 million. Your character has to be refined. You have to be trusted. You have to have the right place, because even with that type of value transition, if you will, or position transition, that means that's coming with more people. That means it's coming with more lives or more clients, more responsibility. That means your integrity has to be intact. That means you've got to be patient with more people. That means you have to be able to, know how to move in humility, still be able to be taught, not thinking that you know everything. Right? Because your subordinates are now watching you. The person that was managing 50,000, you got to become a new person to manage 1 million. Right? So your character is vitally important. So there needs to be some preparation. You got to go through some things to test the character, to test your character, so it's actually up leveling and elevating to the level of where you're going. And I just used the dollar amount so that you can begin to see the difference. There's a different mindset and character it takes to manage 50 people versus 1 million people or 100,000 people. It takes more of you, and your character has to be intact for that. So that was point number 4. Your character is being prepared. Number 5, when it comes to being prepared, you're being prepared and you're not stuck. You become more aware of patterns that no longer serve you. You become aware of patterns that no longer serve you. When you were in that previous season, you can pretty much tolerate certain people, tolerate certain habits, tolerate certain relationships. But when God is about to move you and transition you, He's preparing you, and you're recognizing those patterns and those cycles and those relationships. They're not serving you any longer. It doesn't feel right. It's actually weighing on you. What you could have tolerated before, you can no longer tolerate. And so in that, you're recognizing those cycles. You're recognizing those habits. Now it has to change to meet this new person that I'm becoming, to meet this next level of business that I'll be transacting. These things don't serve me any longer. So I'm aware of these new patterns. And because now I'm aware of it, it's causing me to change and transform. You see how you're being prepared behind the scenes. Your awareness now is a sign of your maturity. Your awareness is a sign of your maturity. So you're not really stuck. You're actually being matured. Sometimes you got to pause in your process to really get the nitty gritties, right? The nitty gritties are the things that are not seen. It's the things that are hidden, the things that's in your heart, the things that's in your mind, the character development. You got to be able to see there's certain habits that no longer serve me. Where I used to stay up late at night, now I can't do that. That's a habit that has to be broken because I have to use staying up late at night watching television. I now have to invest that in studying. Now that I have to invest that in research and development for this next position. Now I have to study and take a course. Those hours I was giving away and hanging out, that's a habit I've got to change now. That habit no longer serves me any longer. You'll start to see, even when you start changing habits, or your relationships will begin to change because the old people or the old cycles, when they don't serve you, you'll start to see people changing, habits are changing, situations are changing. Yeah, everything starts to change. So guess what? Again, this is preparation. This is not you being stuck or stagnant. It's about your awareness. God is opening up your eyes. God is allowing you to see that these patterns for where you're going no longer are good for you. It may be good for somebody else, but not for you. Point number 6, you're being prepared. You're not stuck. Your prayer life actually starts to deepen. You got a hunger for God. I'll say that again. You're in a season of preparation where it's pushing you closer to God. You have a hunger to see and understand what He's doing in your life spiritually. Remember, the new birth of me, when you're birthing new things, God must be in the center. God is in the center of your life. Remember, there are times and seasons of stretching, uncomfortable moments and challenges. And when those are taking place, you got to have God in the center so He can begin to interpret. When He begins to give you a new perspective, it draws you closer. So now you want to spend more time with Him. Now you find yourself praying more. Now you find yourself studying more. He's pushing and drawing you closer. You can feel that. You're learning to trust Him even more. Trust Him in this circumstance that you can't quite see because it's clear as mud, right? You have a discernment that things are happening, but it's quite not coming together. It's still a little confusing. I kind of have some clarity, but I don't have the full picture. Guess what I have to do? I got to trust Him. I can't depend on my emotions. I can't depend on somebody else's opinion. Now, when I trust Him, and people can come along to confirm it, but I can't depend on people's opinions because it may not be accurate. It has to be a trust that I have in God. And in order to trust God beyond what I see or what I feel, I must be in relationship. I must be drawn. So you may find that there's a deeper yearning and a hunger for God, for what He's doing. So you'll find that He's preparing you for every new season and every new transition. Your relationship with God will actually change, and it should deepen because you're going to need more of Him. You're going to need more understanding. So that's point number 6. Your prayer life becomes deeper. Your relationship, your dependency on God actually becomes deeper. So you're actually not stuck. You're actually going deeper. All right. Point number 7. You're being equipped, not just being inspired. That's good right there. In this moment of preparation where you feel like you're being stuck, I want you to begin to search for those things, right? Search for those things that are actually equipping you, not just inspiring you. What's equipping you in this season? What's being developed in this season? Because what's being developed will last. What's being inspired may not always last, right? You want to be able to be in that space of learning. You want to be in that space of gaining wisdom. You're looking and really leaning into the tools that's up-leveling your understanding, up-leveling your knowledge, up-leveling your skill. So you're not just sitting to be inspired, but now you're training yourself. You're developing yourself. You're healing. You're involved and connected in communities. You're sitting in educational settings, master classes, right? You have a hunger for learning. You're being equipped. You're actively hungry to be in a place of equipping. not just to be motivated and to be inspired, but you find yourself drawn by learning. And so in this, not only are you up leveling, but you find that now there's a greater expansion of your wisdom. And with wisdom comes your maturity. Can I tell you, you're being prepared. You're preparing for that next opportunity. You're becoming that complete package. Yes, you are. What you think you're being stuck? Not at all. You're actually being prepared. Preparation, again, is not just sitting around waiting. You're actually doing things behind the scenes. You're actually cutting some things away. You're actually changing certain things. You got new routines. You find yourself exercising. New habits are being formed. New disciplines are being formed. New commitments are being made. And as you're doing this on a consistent basis, guess what? You're being equipped. Everything about you is being up-leveled before the door opens. That's point number 7, being equipped. Point number 8, resistance increases when you try to move forward. Oh boy, the resistance. Have you ever had opposition coming against you? Have you had opinions, people that don't agree with you coming against you? When you find the resistance at its all-time high, you can almost guess and rest assured there's something greater on the other side. The resistance increases to stop you from moving forward. I want to remind you here, don't give up or give in. I need you to endure. I need you to press. When you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, right? The resistance of the weight, sometimes you feel that burn and you want to let the weights go. I don't want to do no more bench presses, right? I don't want to do any more forward pulls because I feel the burn. That's not the time to stop. That's when the muscle is growing. When you are in resistance, you are now growing the muscle. You're getting ready for the next level. This is your movement to go forward. If you don't have the resistance, how are you going to grow? You need some resistance, right? This is when opposition often shows up right before you're about to go. The door is about to open. The transition is about to take place. The baby's about to birth. The business is about to come forth. You're about to get approved for that loan. You're about to get approved for that business plan or whatever. You're about to go before the county, whatever. You're about to, finalize the book with the publisher, and now everything starts falling apart. You're feeling the opposition. This is not the time to stop. Keep going. The transition is right there. Resistance does not mean denial. Resistance does not mean denial. It's a signal to keep in the momentum of what you're doing. Keep the reps going, right? Keep the reps going, right? You do the first rep of 10. Then you rest, then you go back in. Don't give up. You're building muscle. You're building in the resistance muscle, right? You're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, oh my God, the nose. Don't stop at the nose. No, you were not approved. Keep going. It's building. It's building the resistance of your endurance and your press. Don't listen to the nose. Something is happening. A new horizon is about to take place. So this is not the time to give up. You're in a preparation season for greater. Don't read it as you're being stuck. You're just being prepared. It's amazing. Language is so important. Language is so important. If you're not rehearsing the right language, you can actually mentally give up. I'm stuck, I'm stagnant, I'm delayed. Listen, if you keep saying that, guess what? You're going to eventually give up. So when you change your language and say, I'm being prepared. This is just preparation season for the greater. I'm preparing for the next season. I'm preparing for the next opportunity. The door is about to open. The deal is about to sign. The promotion is about to come. The book deal is about to be signed. The contract is coming through. Yes, you're being prepared mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're being prepared in those 3 areas. You don't want one area to be developed over the next. That's why it takes a careful, prepared process. Careful, prepared process. The mind, the heart, the spirit. Right? So that you can now take and put everything into action. right? If it's not serving you, get rid of it. New habits have to change, right? So yeah, that was point number 8, resistance. Resistance increases when you're moving forward, so don't be afraid. Your resistance is just a signal for your momentum. Point number 9, you're developing endurance. This is where you're learning how to stand. You're learning how to wait. You're learning how to remain faithful without immediate results. This is where it takes your faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And so here, you must have faith to endure. You got to have the faith to endure in the preparation season. How long am I going to have to prepare for, Michelle? I don't know. But you got to tap into some endurance. You got to tap into your endurance. Come on, I need you to hear me. You got to tap into endurance. Listen, I didn't know how long was it going to take me to go through cancer on this journey. How long, Lord? How long? I started to get impatience. Impatience will cause you to give up. Impatience will open up the door to sadness and depression and all these things to disqualify, stop, and delay you. Come on. You want to endure at all costs. Don't go by what you see. You got to move by faith. Faith works with endurance. You just have to believe the opportunity is waiting for me. I don't care what stands in my way. I'm going to continue to press. I'm going to endure. You know what works good with endurance is hope. It's hope. Right? You got to have hope. Hope will pull you into the next step. Hope will pull you into the next day. Hope will pull you in from the morning into the afternoon. Hope, it's a place where it develops, it's a place of expectation. I know this is going to happen. I know God is doing something. Hope, right? When hope comes, you rejoice in that hope. Hope is what pushes you. It's that fuel. Hopeless people, or if you have a hopeless personality, or if there's hopelessness around you, if there's hopelessness, it's like, your posture is different. You don't have no energy, right? And so when you're enduring, you got to have hope. And when you got hope, it builds joy. When you got joy, you got strength. And we can go on and on. And can I tell you, when you endure, before you know it, you'll get the phone call. Before you know it, you'll get the approval. You'll see the check coming in the mail. You'll see the relationship now being connected. So I need you to endure. The process of preparation will build endurance. Endurance precedes expansion. Endurance precedes expansion. And even as I'm talking to you right now, when you're looking at, certain teams and businesses and teamwork, or when you're working with people, who do you want on your team? Do you want people on your team that's going to give up easily, or you want people that's going to endure? I need people that's going to endure. We in it for the long haul. I'm going to stick in it because I believe. I'm sticking in it because I believe in myself. I'm sticking in it because I believe God's plan. I'm sticking in it because I know there's something greater. So I'm going to endure. I'm not going to listen to my thoughts. I'm not going to listen to any negative thoughts, right? I'm going to get rid of everything that doesn't serve me well, and I'm going to endure. I'm in preparation season. I'm preparing. Just like that pregnant woman. No time to give up. That baby's about to come. Honey, you got to get ready. You got to endure. And I know by the time you get to the 7th month, you're like, oh my God, when is this going to happen? Even though you can see it, you can sense it. But you can get tired in the preparation season. You can feel exhausted in the preparation season, but don't give up. Endure. There's going to be a time where you're actually going to give birth, step into a new opportunity. So let's move to here's our last point. Point number 10. In the time of preparation, remember, you're not stuck. There's something that is being developed. God is preparing you. And my point number 10, my last and final point, is talking about there's confidence forming in the time of preparation. I have here, quiet confidence is forming. Quiet confidence. You know how much you need when it comes to, well, you need confidence when it comes to the things of whatever it is that you're actually doing and producing. You need confidence. You need confidence in communication. You need confidence to produce. You need confidence to show up every single day. You need confidence to feel good about yourself. You need confidence to communicate. You need confidence for pretty much a lot of things. And so when you are developing confidence for this new season, know that it's being developed privately, quietly in the preparation season. I believe confidence is not just a one and done. Confidence actually continues to increase over time. With every experience that you go through, I think you can up-level your confidence. And I believe in preparation, there is a confidence that becomes visible, not just to yourself, but to the world around you. Even without visible change, something in you in this season is being developed purposefully. And your confidence is that thing that's being developed purposefully. You want to have that confidence that aligns with your value and your identity. You want to have that confidence that can begin to display and cause you to now move into this next transition, this next phase of your life, this next opportunity. Confidence is necessary. Confidence allows people to know that you can do this. Confidence knows that, people can feel safe in your leadership. Confidence is necessary because it translates and lets your environment and your world know that, guess what? We can do this, right? You need confidence to push that baby out, right? And I don't know about you, when I was delivering my baby, it's almost like you're afraid to push because you don't want the pain, right? But you need that confidence and that courage to push. And this next season, your confidence is going to help to push out all that God has for you while you're in the season of preparation. And so I want you to be reminded that in this season where you feel stuck, it's not really stuck. It's actually you being prepared. Closed doors, stretching seasons, and silent growth. It's not delay. It's actually development. Development for this next season of transition. This next season of opportunity, right? This next season of elevating. This next season where you're doing something new. You have to become more than who you are today. God is refining your character, sharpening your discernment, right? And position you for your what's next. So what I need you to do, trust the process. Trust the process and what's happening. And know that, trust the process, watch your languaging, that you're not stuck, but you're actually being prepared. You're not stuck, but you're being prepared for something greater. And I can't wait to see what you produce, what you bring into the world, that dream. And if you're pregnant with baby, bringing that beautiful baby into the world, right? It's in the season of preparation that allows you to do all that God has called you to do and allows you to live in complete fulfillment. And so I hope you were able to get some wonderful nuggets and even clarity. If you're one that's moving through a season of preparation where you thought you were stuck, can you put in the chat for me? Let me know if this actually resonated with you. Let me know if this helped you to gain even greater clarity and even understanding. Let me know if, perhaps, you were actually not enduring, you're about to give up. Let me know if you kind of ignoring some of the habit changes and you were too afraid to let go of some people in this season. Let me know that. Because if you are able to recognize that, and if this spoke to you, I know it's actually going to help you move in the next season powerfully. Your what's next is waiting on you. Also, too, if you enjoyed today, don't forget to share and subscribe, right? Share with friends and then tell your friends to subscribe so that when another episode drops, you are here with me. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I'll see you back again soon on the new birth of me. Take care. Bye-bye.